What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to episode 5 of the Stick Theory podcast. Today, we're going to be joined by Calvin Warner, aka 50 Cal Strings. He's a defender for Muskingum University. He's been stringing for over 10 years. I believe his page is a year old tomorrow, July 4th. So, we couldn't be more excited to have him on. Can't wait to share some of the insight you had. It's some good laughs, some interesting takes, but is overall super fun episode. Can't wait for y'all to watch it. So make sure you enjoy. All right, so 50 Cal, thanks for coming on Stick Theory Podcast. Couldn't be
Thank
more
you for
happy to
having me.
have you. I know we've talked a little about it on Instagram, so nice to finally get you on. What we like to start with on this podcast, nice, easy, break the ice. How'd you come up with the name 50 Cal?
So, my stringing account originally started as CW Strings, which is just my name, Calvin Warner. So nice, just easy initials. And then throughout my freshman year of high school and then going into my first year of college, I've always had teammates call me 50 cal, like that big bullet. And it just correlated to me on the field. And like some people said I hit like a 50 cal, just bringing the heat, hitting them hard. So that's kind of how the name came up with it. And then I had some people help with the logos and then we just got it rolling out. So that's where 50 cal strings comes from.
That is awesome. Hey, I like that nickname. I had a teammate in college. His nickname was also 50 cal because he had a rifle from the outside. So, shout out Hayden. He's a good buddy. So this next question is coming from DB Strings. It's kind of who got you into stringing and what made you decide to kind of pursue it as like an Instagram or something like that.
I'd say just not having sticks available, like high quality sticks, got me into stringing. So my ECD Greg also, I mean, dude's a icon in every
Yeah.
stringing household. Like everyone knows who that is. My dad knows who it is. Like my dad started stringing my sticks, so he and ECD Greg videos were tight.
Yeah.
But that's kind of like the stringing for me on who I like looked up to for it.
Okay. How'd you get into lacrosse in the first place? And like how'd you obviously you mentioned gravitating over to stringing, not having good quality sticks. I'm sure pre-strungs you're getting those, but what got you into the sport itself?
So I know I started playing in second grade, so very early for my area in Northeast Ohio. But for my birthday one year, I got a Franklin fiddlestick. I think it was from like Five Below from my aunt. No one in my family has ever played lacrosse. No one knew who it was. I'm like, you're telling me I can hit someone with the stick and like I can catch and shoot a ball?
I'm
Like I
in.
would gladly do like that over baseball. Like you're telling me I can hit people rather than hit a ball? So that kind of like came around, and then my dad's like, all right, there's a league right here. Like we're signing you up. And what's funny about that is I wasn't allowed to play tackle football until sixth grade. So, but I was allowed to play full contact lacrosse starting in second grade. So that's like where the love came for it. Obviously, I'm playing Division 3 now at Muskingum University. Um, so just playing lacrosse like my whole life, it's been a blessing. So all thanks to that Franklin fiddlestick.
Yeah. So how do you kind of balance the stringing with being a college athlete? I'm sure you're the resident team stick doctor. I did the same thing
Yeah.
in college. It's nice getting some practice, but how do you find that balance with the two?
Um, I mean the balance, it's pretty easy. Normally with like college schedule, you'll have that time before or after
Hmm.
practice. Um, plus in season, I try to slow down the outside orders and really focus on the teammate orders and just like making sure like their sticks are ready for the next game or the next practice. But the balance is pretty easy. Like you have downtime to chill in the locker room. So like when I'm chilling with the boys, like I'll just be stringing someone on the team stick. So
That's awesome. That's hey, I'm doing the right thing. We're out there hanging out on a Friday night. There's like, dude, why are you stringing? I'm like, because I enjoy it. I don't
yeah,
know what to tell you. It's got to get done. It's got to get done
exactly.
somehow. So this next question comes from Finn Hummer. Do you remember the first head you ever strung?
So the story with this, it's an STX K18U, and I actually have it. So give me 1 second.
All right.
All right, sorry for that ruckus, but
All good.
here it is.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
It's the
So it's
OG USA Hero. That
OG
is
USA
awesome.
Hero Mesh. Um, but so I actually had a teammate back when I was in fourth grade who strung this. This was my first stick, but I actually later I'm like, I'm gonna watch a video and learn how to string. So as you can see, my top string is not that good, but this is my first ever stick. It's gray strings with OG Hero Mesh and on a K18U. So this
It's
is
a
my
good wall
first stick
piece
I
right
ever
there.
strung.
Yeah, that's a good wall piece. I haven't
Yeah.
strung mine, so I lost my original first stick. Was I didn't string it, but the first stick I ever had was a old Brine Magnum.
Okay.
It was decked out with all the right colors, like neon yellow mesh, neon green, pink shoes. I was like, oh yeah, this thing's awesome. Looking back on
Yeah.
it, might have been a little too bright, but we're working on recreating it right now.
Yeah.
So
So that's
excited
the
to get
first
that
stick I
done.
strung, but my first ever stick was the Maverick Bazooka.
Okay,
So that was my first ever. I don't even know if that's the name of the head, but I know the shaft is bazooka with like a water. So it was pretty cool.
that's awesome. So what's kind of changed the most about your stringing process over the years? Obviously, we're starting out. You're learning top strings. The first one, like you said itself, is probably not the greatest, but you've obviously gotten better over time. What's kind of changed with that?
The resources. I
Hmm.
think with how many like high quality pro stringers there are now, is that like you can go from that top string to a Liberty top string or um Sidewall Jedi his top string. Like there's just so many unique top strings available now, or the basic ones. But I think the resources is what helped the most with stringing.
Do you have a favorite mesh out right now?
5S string
Five
from
S,
5S. Yep.
interesting. See, 5S probably my second. I'm loving Hero 4 right now. Even though I do wish they would bring back the old striker colors.
Yeah.
It's cool on the side, but it's kind of nice seeing it down the
It
middle.
looks good right now, right down the middle.
Yeah.
But I
So
have been
go
figuring
ahead.
out Mesh Dynasty.
Yeah,
So
they've got some good
I am a
stuff.
big fan of this colorway. So pretty excited to start working with that mesh.
Yeah, I'm waiting on a restock. They have a couple cool colors on there that I'm like,
Yeah.
this needs to come back, and it just hasn't yet. So
Yeah.
it's just a wait and see right there. So with all these new meshes, are you kind of more performance based, or would you be more aesthetic driven, or are you able to maintain a balance? Because
Performance for sure.
performance, okay,
With the aesthetic that you get with it is like your new colors, your different color schemes. I think that's aesthetically where I find it. Mesh Dynasty, that's high quality and it's colored mesh. So I mean,
yeah,
I do wish 5S did have some striker to it, or just some color other than just white and black, but definitely performance.
performance, okay. So when you're stringing a stick, and like obviously we have different player positions. Back in the day, I've talked to some guys who like they've been stringing for like 20 plus years. There's like back in the day, it was poles had high pockets, attackman had low pockets. Do you still think that holds true, or would you say it's
100%.
preference?
It's I don't think it's preference. I think it's playing style.
Okay.
I'll get a bunch of orders where a ex attackman wants a high pocket, but it's like, dude, you're holding the ball. You're that quarterback of the offense. Like, we got to get you a quick release, like low pocket. Um, I think like I personally use a mid pocket on my pole because I love to push transition.
Hmm.
And I like, I mean, obviously it's rough with GBs, but when I'm able to just carry the ball and not worry about it getting checked out. But I definitely think it needs to be playing style. Like, I had people compare me to like Graham Hossack, a bigger Graham Hossack. That's a sweet comparison.
Hey, that's not a bad gig right there. I was a pole too. I'm envious of that one a little bit.
Yeah. But I definitely think all sticks need to be play style and not by position.
Mhm. Okay, so obviously you mentioned you like to push transition as a pole. What's kind of your current weapon of choice with that? Like obviously you string your own sticks. I'm sure you
Yeah.
mentioned the mid pocket. What's your head that you're liking right now?
DNA two.
DNA 2. Okay.
I got about 13 of them. So
Oh my goodness.
yeah, definitely got some funky colors with them, but I use a DNA two on a Sci-Tie X shaft from STX.
That's my go-to as well right
Yeah.
now. Even though I'm washed up now, I'm officially retired. I've got a couple side ties, and I'm really liking the Magnum that just came out. I know I saw you and Jared. Y'all got to string that up a little bit. Y'all got a little earlier than I
Yeah.
did, but it seems like a super cool head.
Great head. I mean, I might switch to it. But actually it's funny, men's league, I've been using the RC1 N2O because like who doesn't love
Interesting.
a clear head on the D board?
Yeah,
I mean, this thing is so durable. Like I'm able to throw the same hammer checks and not worry about it snapping at all. So
yeah. So obviously, you said mentioned the DNA 2 is kind of your bread and butter right now. That's your weapon of choice. What are some other current heads, meshes that you enjoy seeing on the market?
Mirage 3.
Mirage 3, I'm waiting for it.
Looking at it right now, it's sweet. Tactic 3, Lakota 3. I mean, absolutely. I think Lakota is one of the best heads on the market.
I'd agree.
Um, let's see. 3D coming out.
3D. Have you
Uh,
gotten your hands on that one yet? Are y'all a String King school at Muskingum?
we are shrinking school. I haven't gotten it, but I have seen it in person. It's nice.
Yeah, I've.
And then the 3V as well. I mean, there's just so many good heads out there.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
it's hard
it's
to pick
nice.
one. Hard to pick
Yeah.
one.
It's nice being in an era now of like stringing and playing where it's almost like back in the day, like you exclusively had like wide heads
Mhm.
for a pole, whereas and wide heads in general, but now you have the pinch face shapes, the wide heads, like the different brands, different technology, offset. So it's kind of nice.
Yeah.
We're probably a little spoiled, truth be told, compared to some of these guys who've been around a bit,
Oh,
who
for
were stringing
sure.
with like, they looked like this and that was it. Now we've got like the offset, so
Yeah.
we got new materials. So I know right now you're working with a store in Ohio. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you want to give them a shout out, or who's that?
Yeah.
Who is that? How'd that kind of come
So,
about? Or
um, like local lacrosse store in Ohio, there's not many. They go by Fortis Sports. They are down in Chagrin Falls. I know Finn, you're there all the time, so a little shout out to you. But there are two other stringers that are also there. And I mean, it just family owned store, great people that work there. And I got fortunate enough to get in contact with them through my stringing. So we've been able to do some pretty cool things together and offer some high quality pre-strungs to the local kids. Recently, I just did the STX Mint Prism, which luckily enough, it sold very quickly.
yeah,
Um, but I've got to do some cool things, and we got some very cool things planned for this upcoming month. So
yeah. I'm trying to get my hands on one of those mint prisms. I haven't seen it in person, but the pictures I've seen on Jared's stories, it looks so good.
yeah, it's nice. I got to help them. We're like mint chocolate chip, and I mean that color, it just
It
to a
just
T, it
pops.
looks
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what are some innovations you're mentioning? You work with lacrosse, so I'm sure you get access to some stuff early. What would be some innovations that you think the industry kind of could still use and could need?
That's a good question. I'd like to see more companies going that gate D aspect.
Okay.
I'd love to see ECD make their own with some hooks. I think that could do numbers. Um, I also like String King's approach with how they've always done so many sidewall holes.
Hmm.
Um, Sometimes it is too many.
Okay,
Uh,
that's going to be my next question because I've strung up a couple before, and it's like you'll accidentally miss like one hole,
yeah,
and you got to realize, oh, you got
yeah,
to go back like 20 to go back and fix it. It's like, good Lord.
yeah. But I think I'd like to see more defensive specific, like a magnet with gate D hooks would be insane.
Yeah.
Like I love STX's speed scoop technology. I think that is huge. I mean, the ball it just glides on turf, so I mean it's nice.
Yeah. So that kind of takes us into our next thing. If you could design your dream head and mesh, what would they look like? Whether it's color scheme, design, stiffness, what does that look like for you?
So the offensive player in me, pre high school, is gonna say a Lakota 2 with a rebel face shape and 3V holes.
Okay. That
So
that
very
that is
funky
out
right
there.
there.
Very specific combination right there, but I like the sound of that. It sounds like pretty good.
Yeah,
So what
and
would be your dream mesh for it?
dream mesh. Let's go six diamond striker, red and black.
Okay. The big red and black guy. I assume
Yep,
that's Muskingum's colors, right?
yep.
That's awesome. What is y'all's mascot? I'm not super familiar with the school. I know I have a
Magnus. So his name is Magnus. He is a muskie. So we are the
Magnus the
Muskingum
Muskie.
Fighting Muskies.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
I know I have one of my he was my grad assistant at Tennessee Wesleyan, but I think he might have reached out recruiting you. You mentioned his nickname was Gonzo or
Yep,
Coach
Coach Gonzo.
Gonzalez.
Yep.
He's over at Marietta. I know
Yeah,
he's in
that's
that
our rival.
conference.
So
Oh no.
yeah,
Little bad blood there, but hope
they
it's
got
all
us this
good.
year, but we'll be back. So
Yeah. Yeah. So obviously you're on the younger side like me, so you're probably sometimes a bit more involved in like this passionate kind of growing gear culture that you're seeing in lacrosse. I know back in the day we saw like the Flow Society shorts, the bright colors, but now you're seeing a lot more ease of access to like the pro gear, the unreleased stuff, whether it's sideline swap, eBay, product releases. So how do you kind of see the community evolving with that? Do you think it's good for the community in the long run? Do you think it kind of detracts from some of the exclusivity?
I think it's good in the long run. I think there some problems with it are pricing. You
Hmm.
know, people they want $500 for a chrome helmet, a PLL chrome helmet, which I get, but like that's a cool piece. I don't want to spend 500.
Yeah.
I also love sideline swap, pros that get to test out prototypes.
Hmm.
SoFlo said it himself, like collecting a prototype is sweet to see what they thought would work compared to what actually worked.
Hmm.
So one day I'd love to get a prototype collection going. I'd love to get a OG Mirage prototype. That would
That,
be,
yeah.
it's about 11 years old now, but that would be a sweet find. But I think sideline swap and like eBay, Mercari is another website. I think those are very cool for growing the sport because it also helps people that are just now trying to get into it help
Hmm.
find cheap gear, high quality cheap gear that, if they don't level cross, they're not losing about like $800. So I
Yeah.
definitely think there's some benefits and some pros and cons to it.
Yeah, and that's kind of one of the problems. So obviously I'm in the South, so it's growing down here, but we'll have a lot of kids trying out the new sport. It's like, yeah, they're all in, and then they realize, oh, if I want to get like a whole brand new stick, that's like
Yeah.
$250. Pair of gloves is almost 200. It's like, no, 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 no. Just like go to these places. You can get good stuff for this price. So I definitely do agree. It's helping growth of the sport and the ease of access is the biggest thing
Yeah.
because we do play a sport that it's fun. It's awesome, but the getting into cost is a little steep sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, if you
So,
look at that, like you're not buying football pads. Like most of the time it's, given out with whatever program you're playing.
mhm,
Like those helmets are given out. So all you got to buy is your cleats and your football pads. So I mean, definitely some boundaries price wise with like lacrosse gear, but I
yeah,
see it growing in the future. So that's good.
yeah, that's what I do appreciate about the relaxed collection stuff. Like it's probably like I've used them, like messed around with them. They are elite level heads,
Yeah.
and those heads could easily, if they were made by anyone else, be charged for like that normal retail market. But they're charging these for less than half of
Yeah.
some of these costs. So it's nice to see companies like that do that. So I feel like we need to see some more companies come out of that.
Hmm.
So, how has social media kind of changed the way stringers and brands are able to connect? I know you've obviously been a big
Yeah.
benefactor of that between like getting to help with the store down in Ohio or like getting your name out there, getting some more online orders. So, how has it kind of changed the way that you've,
I mean, it's a game changer. I mean, you can send a DM, it might not get to them, but you're putting yourself out there. Like I tagged Fortis in one post and they instantly followed me. They're like, your work is sweet, like you're a local guy, like let's work together. So that's where social media helped me. And then I think without social media, like I'm not gonna know who you are and know these other big stringers and like see other people's work. Like then you're kind of just relying on YouTube, if even we're still considering that still around. But Um, I think social media is huge for brands connecting with each other. If you look, like there's a bunch of influencers with STX, only
Hmm.
Varo, like him on TikTok, kind of blowing up during COVID. Now he's an NIL STX guy. So I mean,
Yeah, Gym Nikes.
Mitchell Pelkey, like you look at those guys, like not just because they're good at lacrosse, but because their social media brought them big into the lacrosse world. I think it's huge for connecting with brands. So
I would 100% agree. And like even like me doing this right here, like my page is still relatively small compared to some of these people, but like the amount of people that I've been able to like meet and talk to, like I
yeah,
say it every time on this podcast because I'm just still super thankful. Like I had this idea and then I had like 30 close stringer friends that I kind of like gotten over from. There's like, yeah, man, I'd love to come on. I'm like, oh, this is kind of taken off way faster than I expected. I'm booked out for almost the whole year now.
yeah,
So it's
that's sweet.
definitely
That's
been
awesome.
yeah, it's been awesome. So thank you for being one of the first
I'm
guests on that again.
proud to be one.
Yes, sir. So any shout outs to kind of some stringers or developers you've gotten to know over the years? Because obviously we're starting a little later compared to some of these guys like been around. Like
Yeah,
Lars has been around a while, Penny
yeah.
Strings, like they're like almost like OGs of the space. We're still newer. So are there any other like stringers or developers who kind of helped you along the way?
Jared over at Uzumaki Stringing.
Hmm.
I mean, dude has just like it was so cool to finally meet him in person. Like how much he's helped me, perfect my craft and make sure I'm also producing high quality sticks. I mean, I have countless videos of that he sent me just explaining how to do this knot or why you should do this top string and how to properly lay die decals. So I mean,
Hmm.
dude has just been there for me and like couldn't appreciate him more.
Yeah, Uzumaki's a good guy. I think he's
Great
coming
guy.
on hopefully end of the month. I think we worked
Yeah.
it out. So excited to finally get him on there. Hoping he's down in Asheville for this big men's league tournament. Trying to meet a couple people in
Yeah.
person finally. So we'll see how all that goes. So what do you love most about obviously lacrosse is the medicine game? It's great. It's very therapeutic. Like what do you love most about the game? And it's kind of s spoken off of that. What would be some advice you have for like younger players getting into stringing?
So what I love most about it, I mean, I've met my best friends playing. Like I wouldn't meet half the people I've met nowadays. It's the same with stringing as well. Um, and there's just something about it, like it's just so calming, like just passing the ball around with your buddy in a backyard or going up to the field and just shooting like for fun. Um, like you're telling me I could just rip step downs for fun, like
Yeah, it's great.
um and then some advice I got for young people wanting or younger guys wanting to get into stringing or girls. Practice. I mean, don't burn yourself out either. There's going to be a time where as you get bigger, you're going to get a bunch of your teammates orders and you're just going to be like, man, I don't want to string it. Like I'm all worn out. My fingers are hurting. My hands are all dry, but practice. And don't do it because you want the money. Do it because you love it.
Yeah.
Um, you know, for the longest time, like I just wanted a string. I'm like, guys, just give me your stick. Like if it's bad, I'll keep redoing it. Like just let me try. And the passion comes with it, like how much I love lacrosse. I'm like, now I get to help people have high quality sticks and go make an impact out on the field. So do it because you love it, not because you want the money.
Yeah, that's definitely been a big consensus from everyone I've been hearing on this podcast. Even like some of the guys who've been around for a little bit. There's like when I started out, like there's like I went through a period of burnout because I was like, I'm gonna string every single stick every single time. He's like, it does get to a point eventually where it's like, I don't know if I really want to do this
Yeah.
right now. Like
Yeah.
I need to take a break, but like you can't do that because you've already committed to stringing like you got 6 sticks due in 2 days, so can't not get done. And so, kind of ending this art before we get into our what we call our rapid fire round, we got a lighthearted question for you. This
Okay.
comes from Sir Sante on Instagram. I think he
All right.
might be one of your former teammates. He
Yes.
says, "Who's winning the D1 Natty next year? Give your reasoning and why is it Navy?"
Navy. I don't get why it would be Navy. I mean, those dudes are. I mean, I'm D3. They're D1. I mean, those they're ballers, but like, um, I want to say Villanova. My dad played college football there, so huge Villanova fan. But I'd love to see them win it, but I think Maryland. Unfortunately,
Maryland.
I you know, there there's always a way for them to get back. Um, I think they're due. They're due.
But they won like 3 years ago. I don't know if that counts as due.
They're still due. Notre Dame is done for a while. Like
The
it's gonna take
Kavanaughs are gone.
another 30 years for Notre Dame.
I wait until like what is it? The Kavanaugh the third comes through, get ready to take over the program.
Yeah. Cornell's not going back to back. I mean, they just lost the best player in lacrosse.
Yeah,
I'd like to see like an underdog though make a run, like an NJIT, America's team. I think that'd be cool. But either Maryland or Army would be my two that I could see.
okay. I would agree with those two. My sleeper pick, just because they had such a good season this year, and I'm pretty sure they didn't lose a ton of people. I'd like to see Richmond actually make a Final Four. I think that'd
Yeah.
be electric if like
Yeah.
Richmond lacrosse starts getting like consistently good, then like them and Virginia keep going back and
Oh
forth. It
yeah.
turns into a rivalry. I think it just helps the sport.
hmm It'd be cool to see Ohio State, living in Ohio, but
Yeah.
I mean, the Cinderella run's got to come to an end at some point. You can't beat Maryland twice, can't beat Notre Dame twice. So
Yeah, you can't ride on the back of Caleb Fayok forever, even though he's
exactly.
nuts. He's
Yeah.
arguably the best goalie in college, but he's
Yes.
I don't know if he can carry that team yet. They got to get some guys around him. So kind of we like to end these podcasts. First off, thanks for coming on with what we call a rapid fire round. So you're just gonna say the first thing that's gonna come to your mind. Don't like no not super long thought presses. So does that sound good?
Yep. Good with me.
All right. What's your favorite mesh?
5S.
5S. All right. What's your go-to knot when you're stringing a stick?
Not at SI.
Not at SI. I love that pick. What's the most underrated head of all time?
Rebel offense.
Rebel offense. All right. And on the flip side, what's the most overrated head of all time?
Ion.
I that you are so this is you'll this episode will be seen a week after that one, but Longshore Lacrosse said the exact same thing. He said the ion, he's like, it strings up great, but he said dying it was the biggest pain that he's ever had.
I mean, they just break too much for me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Tape or no tape on a stick?
no tape.
No tape. And what's your favorite head to string?
DNA2 STX Prism.
DNA2 SX Prism. All right. Well, 50 cal, thank you so much for coming on Stick Theory. It's been a pleasure. Where can these listeners find your work, follow you, reach out to you?
So you'll see me on Instagram at 50 cal strings. You can also find me on TikTok at 50 cal strings. I answer every DM, every comment. So if you ever have a question, reach out to me and I'd be happy to help.
That is awesome. Well, thanks again for joining the Stick Theory podcast. It's been an absolute pleasure. To everyone listening, if you enjoyed the episode, subscribe, leave a comment, like, do all that fun stuff. Follow us both on social
Well,
media. So thank you all for tuning in.